Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, everybody. You're very, very welcome along to the second public event of the Apex Online Racing Rallycross Championship. Fantastic event last time out in Yas Marina. We enjoyed it so much that we decided we wanted to do another one. So we're back for some more Rallycross action at the Killarney Motorsport Park in Cape Town, where we saw the championship decider in World RX, and we're going to try and see if we can match the drama of that today. Joining me today is Jess, but she's feeling a little bit under the weather. So how are you, Jess?
Well, apart from me having a chesty cough, I'm feeling good. But I'm really excited to bring some action for you in a track that has only been introduced recently this week, so the drivers haven't had much time to practice. So it's gonna be more about the drivers' skill and adaptation today, I think.
Yes, indeed. Now we've got some interesting weather conditions to bring you. Heat 1 is going to be in the dry. The rest of the sessions are going to be in the heavy rain conditions, which is going to provide some interesting action. Because like you said, Jess, these guys haven't practiced this track a lot. It only came out this week. So they've mostly done dry running. So adapting to the wet is going to be interesting. But the final is going to be totally dry. So you've got to adapt to the wet, and then you've got to come back to the dry. So we're running the World RX supercars and a great variety of cars today. Not like last time where a lot of people were using the Renault Megane. We've got plenty of Subarus today, because this is going to be actually one of the last outings for the Subaru. But as we were saying, the Killarney Motorsport Park in South Africa, we saw the World RX tile decider here. It's a great circuit, plenty of overtaking opportunities, and of course that infamous turn 5 where Hansen went up the inside of background and they both went into the wall and the whole thing turned to shambles. Hopefully we don't see anything like that today. There's no championship on the line, but we are guaranteed a different winner today from the last event anyway, because Sid Mickey is not joining us. He is going to be supporting Jared, who is joining us all the way from Australia. So we might get an interview with him later on, of course. But we're going to be getting underway shortly in 3 minutes' time. But before we get underway with that, we've got to actually get Jared to show you around this wonderful Killarney Motorsport Park in the Subaru Impreza. So enjoy this hot lap and join us afterwards, where we'll be getting underway for all the action. Good evening, everybody, and you're very, very welcome along to the second public event in the Apex Online Racing Rallycross Championship. We had an amazing event last time out in Yas Marina that we decided to bridge the gap to Season 2 with another public event. This time we're taking to the newly released Killarney International Motorsport Park in Cape Town, where we saw an amazing finish to the World RX title battle. Let's see if we can match the drama of that here tonight. For today's hot lap, we're going to be looking at ERT Jared's lap in the Subaru WRX STI Rallycross that was used in ARX. He's going to be taking us around the circuit, so we join him just as he exits the final chicane, and we head into the long, sweeping right-hand turn at turn 1, which tightens up at the very, very end. Prime overtaking opportunity. Gets it turned in nicely, then a flick to the left-hand side over the curb, and then we head over the jump till we come to the second chicane, where things also can bring us plenty of overtakes. Onto the brakes, then tight to the inside barrier, clipping the curb on the exit as well. Joker lap entry on the left-hand side, and we come into the infamous turn 5, where everything went to shambles in the World RX battle. And then coming down to the last chicane, then it's a very, very quick chicane here as we run over the finish line. Very, very close to the barriers. Great lap from Jared there. Plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it's going to be a fantastic event, and we hope that you enjoy the stream coming up very, very shortly. Well, that was a great lap from Jared that we just saw there. He, of course, joined us for the first time at the last event in Yas Marina. Did very, very well indeed. the Subaru, as you saw in that video right there. So as we said, plenty of Subarus, some Ford Fiesta Mark 8s, a few Renaults, a few Peugeots, and I think that's all of them as far as I remember. There might be, actually we have a Volkswagen Polo in there as well, so we've pretty much got every car represented apart from the Mark 7 Fiesta, which is a little bit unfortunate, as that car will not be taking any further part in the championship. And also this will also probably be one of the last outings for the Subaru, because it is not going to be a car that's going to be offered as a choice for season 2 of the Rallycross Championship. The Renault is of course the favourite of a lot of drivers, as it is usually the strongest over a couple of laps. And we're going to be getting underway for the heats very, very shortly. We've got an interesting lineup to bring you, and of course we're going to be covering race 4 of the heats. 3 heats, of course, if you're not familiar with the format. This is all based on time, and then we come back, we work all that out. Whoever gets the top time obviously wins the qualifying sessions and gets a haul of points. And then we move to the semi-finals and the consolation final and the final. Now we are about to get underway here, and it looks like unfortunately we have lost a driver, which is unfortunate. Jonathan Schaefer, one of the strongest drivers I think in this heat, is not going to be taking any further part. So we'll get you through the lineup in a few moments.
Nope, he's in another lobby. He just got double mentioned. He's been moved to another lobby. So.
Right. Okay. So we're just gonna have a 4-car heat for this one. So obviously a driver must have dropped out in the other heat, so he gets replaced. So it's all movement. Coordinators are hard at work here.
Yes, exactly. All putting on an event for us and you guys as well, to make sure it runs very smoothly. They run it smoothly last time as well, and this first heat really dry, not as hard as the other tracks obviously, and other conditions obviously, and they're all experienced wet towards the end. So this is kind of like a banker in a way, just for them to get used to the track.
Yes, indeed. So these are all guys we've all seen before. ST Penguino, of course, the Norwegian. Colossus from Austria. Spiky all the way from the US. And Nyan, of course, rejoining us on the dirt scene. It's been a while since we've seen him. It's great to have him back. The Russian. So, an interesting statistic, actually, this shows the brilliance of AOR RX. We've got 17 drivers here with us today. And out of those 17 drivers, we have 16 different nations being represented. The people... the country that has 2 participants is Denmark, which is so that would be of course Signe and Paplo, both from Denmark. But apart from that, every other country is 1 driver from each nation. So it's almost like a World Cup here. It's really interesting to see. So out of these ones, I would probably go Penguino as the favorite, but you'll get an idea of the races as we head into them. And of course the Joker lap will take you through that format if you're unfamiliar. 2 Subarus, a Volkswagen Polo and an Audi. So the Audi looking to be the strongest in the wet here, but the Subarus have been looking quick around this circuit. So let's get ready to rumble for a public event number 2 from the Killarney Motorsport Park in South Africa. Table Mountain in the background, as you can see, looking glorious in the sunshine. And we're going to get ready to go very, very shortly with Penguino on the outside. And away we go from the line for the first event of race number 1. Here we go through turn number 1. Penguino leads into turn 1. Nyan following, Colossus behind him, and Spiky Cactus. And there goes Nyan up the inside, but a contact made between himself and one of the Subarus coming through there. And Penguino gets dropped down to the back. Colossus now takes the lead in the Subaru and going through to the front, with Nyan and Spiky Cactus following behind him. Penguino dropped to the back as a result of that contact. So all looking pretty good off the line. A little bit of contact made, but not too bad. Nyan takes the Joker on lap number 1. And you can see the Joker lap is a mandatory lap that the drivers must take at least once, which is the feature of World Rallycross. So Nyan comes out right behind Penguino, which is going to be crucial for him because he needs to be chasing him all the way. So coming through turn 1 for the second time, 4-lap race. Colossus leads from Spiky Cactus. Go up to the front with Colossus leading in that Subaru. Looking very, very good over the curves. Gets very sideways on the way out, and Spiky Cactus right with him. He takes to the Joker lap. This is going to be to cover off from Nyan. Now we're going to watch on the merge and see how close this is going to be. onto the gravel. Where is Noyun? He's not going to come out. He's going to come out right neck and neck with Penguino. That's a great joker lap from the Austrian. Comes out in front. Contact made between the third and to the final chicane. And Colossus is into second place, 3.1 seconds off the back of Spiky. And let's see if Spiky can come out in front of the other Subarus. The Audi leading from the two Subarus and the Polo down the back. Polo not going to be the strongest in the dry, but it's looking going to be pretty good in the wet when all the cars start to even out. So here we go. Does Spiky take to the Joker? No, he doesn't. So he's going to stay out, and he's opening that gap anyways. He's looking pretty good out front. Into the wall now. There goes Colossus on the entry there. And for some, we've lost Penguino. He looks like he's gone into the Joker lap. Going to be looking for him, or has he spun? It looks like he's had a problem down the back. Through the final chicane comes Colossus. We're now going to be keeping our eye on the man up front. Spiky, we're going to watch as he heads to the Joker lap. He's opening that gap brilliantly now, so he's driving really, really well as the American over the hill. He's chasing the time, of course. We're going to follow who gets what in the heats through the first chicane. Into the Joker lap he goes. Let's see where he's going to come out. It looks like he's got a comfortable lead here. Onto the brakes, get into the tight right-hander, spins it out, goes a little bit too wide into the tire barrier, keeps his foot in it, and comes out in front. So Spiky comes out in front, and he will take the win in race one of heat number one, ahead of Colossus and Noyun and ST Penguino still circulating, coming through the infamous turn 5 here. So Spiky from Colossus, from Noyun, we're going to watch for ST Penguino to finish this race. And hits the barrier, comes across the lines, 229.6 for Spiky, and we'll see how that pairs up in comparison to the others. But Jess, not a bad race at all.
No, lots of action, I must say. Cactus got off to a very, very good start. He needs momentum going on to the second heat coming up. He's got a bit of a break now, so he can familiarise himself with what to do, and he's going to hope that no one will beat him in the other heats, but he won't know until the first heat has begun as well. But Penguino, he had a bit of a troubled race, to be honest, but hopefully he can recover from that. We did see other people that have recovered on the first public event and still managed to get some good points. So and it's not over yet for Penguino.
No, it's not, and we're just looking just as the result from race 1 comes in. Veloce is taking the win there with a 228.4, so that was a really competitive time from Spiky. I'm very impressed, 229.6. But now we're into a really interesting heat with the two SDL teammates of Alexandru Botos and Juna Pankinen, of course, the current reigning DiRT Esports World Champion, a regular in the AORRX series, which is of course great to see. Alexandru as well, a regular. Yogan in with us as well, took his best results ever in AORRX last time out in Yas Marina with a 3rd place finish. So good to have him with us, but it's going to be interesting to see if Juna or Alexandru or Yogan can challenge the time set for by Veloce Iza. Of course, Iza, we all know who he is. Let me just grab the stats for you. Veloce Iza, he's made quite an impression on the RX scene. 14 wins across his career so far, 3-time world champion, and he is of course qualified for the DiRT World Series. Coming into and we're coming on to the last qualifier of that this week, of course. Good luck to everyone who's competing, but he is already in 14 wins and a 3-time world champion. And Juna, of course, the esports world champion. We've got some serious guys in this series, so now we're going to see how they fare up against each other. No CR Sedmicki with us tonight, our winner from last time out and the current AORRX champion. He's supporting Jared today. We're acting as his spotter, I believe, cheering him on, so we'll see how he gets on. But Jess, who's your money on for this heat?
I'm going to go for Jona Pakkanen. He's shown what he's got in the past, obviously, and I expect him to shine the field today, but possibly Jogan could be the dark horse. As he said, he got his best result last time about, and obviously not many people know the track, so usually people sweat it out before a race. They didn't have much time, so Jogan might pull this out the bag and get second, maybe, but yeah, my money's on Jona Pakkanen.
Yeah, we are expecting one more driver from this in this one, but of course all the heats were kind of moved around, so May just be the 3-car heat, which of course would work for these guys. As long as they don't fight, of course, because the heats is all about time. It's all about the fastest time. Currently, it's Veloce is on top. Of course, there is another race running in sequence with this one. We can't really multitask. We can't stream 2 races at once. We're getting underway, so it's going to be a 3-car feature right here. And we're going to see what cars these guys have opted for. I know Yuna has opted for a different car than he normally goes when he ran in the Megane for last season, but I think he's chosen the Peugeot for this one, as far as I remember. I'm not sure what Alexander's gone in. We'll check very, very shortly. But in the other race, we're going to have Jared and Serene Logic and a couple of others in there as well. And this is the first and last dry heat race of the day.
Oh, this is going to be tough, I think, for these drivers. There's only 3-car heat, so it's going to be easier than anyone else to get a good time. They may get some clean air and stuff, but I'm guessing they'll be feeling more pressure because they want to get the best timing out of everybody else. Veloce has already set a competitive lap time. It's up to any one of those 3 now to set the best lap time they can get now.
Yes, indeed. Now, the benefit of this circuit in particular is that it has probably one of the widest turn 1s on the calendar, so there's plenty of room to sort each other, or give each other space, and not get any contact. Now, interestingly enough, I've just been informed that Alex has he's gone and chosen the wrong car, so he's going to be circling around in a Subaru that he's not very used to. But that is unfortunately what it defaults to if you run out of time. So and it looks like we're going to get a restart for this one because he's chosen the wrong car. So
yeah,
it happens. But I've done that a lot of times in the waiting screen. Just I randomly pick the car and it automatically gives you the Subaru. And I'm almost certain he's gone in the Megane, but I'll have to check for that one. But they've got to get used to this. So where is Alex Bottas? He's in the Audi, so that's why he should have been in, but he managed to get himself in the Subaru. Jogan is meant to be in the Subaru, which is good, and that was a quick turnaround from Jogan, who's hosting the lobby first, so he's straight back in. I can't have guys using the wrong cars, especially when they're not used to it. It's a little bit unfair. Just get straight into the spectate mode, and we should be ready to go.
I think we have all 3 drivers. That was quick.
We do indeed. Unless we were waiting for somebody else, which I don't think we are, after the heat got moved around a little bit. Yeah, 3-car race. So Jogan, Alexander Bottas, and Yuna. Quite difficult to pick a winner for this one because Jogan can be extremely quick on his day and is quite good in the wet. We saw that in Yas Marina when we had a wet surface. He was one of the fastest guys on it, so that you can't really rule him out. But we know Yuna's pedigree, and Bottas as well. He's very, very quick. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. 3 different manufacturers of cars: Peugeot, Audi, and Subaru. Let's see, the drivers particularly want to do the Subaru a bit of justice, because I think it's a car that's been unloved in the RX scene. They want to get it on the top step, and that's the whole reason a lot of guys have chosen the Subaru here today.
Yeah, I would have done it if I was racing, because obviously it's not going to be chosen for the actual next season of AORs, so they want to make the most of it here today, and yeah, I agree. So we're about to get this race underway, and let's go.
Let's go indeed. So Jogan on the inside Jogan on the outside, excuse me. Bottas on the inside and Yuna in right smack in the middle in the Kevin Hansen liveried Peugeot. So let's see how they get on. Let's get ready to rumble. Ready to race slide on, anti-lag on, handbrakes on. Let's get ready to go. And away we go from the line. Great start from Bottas immediately off the line. Immediately takes the inside line to turn number 1. Let's see who's going to get the jump. Looks like Bottas is going to be ahead of his teammate, Juna. and Jogan drops in behind. Nice and clean so far. Bottas demolishes a few of those bollards. Need to be careful of that because it's a little bit difficult to avoid track limits. Jogan and Yuna side by side over the jump. Yuna's going to stay ahead for that one, so they've managed to keep it clean. Jogan was looking up the inside there. Look at Yuna looking on his teammate now, trying to come around the outside. And Jogan, smart move, goes to the Joker. And we've seen this before. Turn 5, the two of them go in side by side. They managed to avoid the wall. It was an Audi and a Peugeot in the real fight, and it was here as well. They didn't quite end like the title fight did. So it's Bottas who leads from Yuna, and Jogan with a smart choice to dive to the Joker as those two were fighting. So now they're just going to have to run the laps and try to beat Veloce Iz's time. Right now, Jogan's right there, 2.4 seconds, which is enough to come out ahead. So let's see, Yuna absolutely sending that through. He has the current world record now, and in he goes to the Joker lap. So this is going to be tight on the exit. Let's see how he gets on. So Jogan comes out. Where does he come out? He comes out ahead of Yuna. So great choice to come out to go into the Joker when he did, but he's going to have to hold behind the current esports world champion, making that Subaru very, very wide indeed. It's a huge car in real life, trying to hold this pug behind him. Over the jump he goes. It's a great performance in the Subaru. You can see the difference in the driving side. Jogan a lot neater into that chicane, but Yuna is just on the handbrake, and Bottas rubbing the wall on the way through. Here he goes up the inside, banging doors, loses the rear end, and Jogan stays ahead. So you can see turn 5 is a classic overtaking opportunity, and he hits the wall through the last chicane, and it's going to affect Yuna, who does the exact same thing. That's going to give Bottas the gap he needs to come out in front. He's just been running his lines up front. So let's see how he gets on. We're going to just move to Bottas. He's 3.4 seconds clear at this point into the Joker lap. Where is he going to come out? We're going to look for Jogan and look for Yuna. And it looks like he's going to come out comfortably in front. Alexander Bottas, has he got the job done? Yuna's got Jogan as well. They come out very, very tight indeed. What's the time going to be coming through the last corner? Oh, Bottas in the wall in the last corner. Oh, Yuna wins on the last corner. That unbelievable 2:27.2 sets the fastest time. Somehow Bottas managed to get a 2:29.5 in there. 2:30.6. Crazy finish. But Yuna's won the session as far as we can see so far.
That just goes to prove it is not over till the checkered flag falls, and what an anti-climax to that race, I must say. But it just goes to show Yuna avoided that casualty towards the end, and he's right at the top. And we were saying that we wanted I can't even pronounce the car. So a Subaru to be on the top. Jared actually won his race.
Jared has won the heat. 2:22.9. That's a really, really quick time. Fair play to Jared.
Get on, Jared. Woo!
So Jared wins his first ever heat ahead of, I believe, Serene Logic. 2:28.3 should be enough to beat Veloce Izzy. Yeah, it is. So it's Jared from Serene Logic. No, sorry, Jared from Juna from Serene Logic, as far as I can see there.
Yeah.
So, wow, Jared, that's a monster time. 2:22. Fair play to him. Takes his first ever heat win, and takes a haul of points for his own good. We're gonna now get set for Heat 2, and the drivers have now got to adjust to the wet conditions.
Yes, wet setup. All changes are out here today. They're gonna get their umbrellas on basically, because this is a whole different ball game. They've got to change their strategy. They got to change how they approach corners, because the braking zones are so much different in the wet compared to the dry. And we've seen, well, Abu Dhabi was wet service. In this track, we're going to have some heavy rain we could expect from some of these heats and some of these races. So, whole different ball game.
It certainly is. So the lobbies are just being set up as we speak. And we're now going to just have a look, of course, the all-important lineup for our races for Heat 2, which is just currently being worked out. So let's see as the points get worked out, but it's definitely Jared with a monstrous time of a 2:22. So obviously
That's
the Subaru working
6 seconds quicker. 6 seconds quicker. 3, 4, 5,
so
6,
it's
7,
obviously
8.
down. It's obviously down to all that battling that all these guys have been enduring. So obviously Izza did not get a clean run, and yeah, Jared's done the job in the Subaru, so he's doing the job for the Subaru on its final outing in AO, and just great to see a new guy on the block. Of course, he is qualified for the World Series as well, and it's currently. So we always give props to Jared as well, because it's currently close to 3 o'clock in the morning over there. He's of course from Australia, and he's managed to get himself out of bed for this one. For 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll be nearly 5 in the morning by the time we're finished. But we actually this time we got the drivers to just write a little bit about themselves. So just gonna read what Jared has said about himself. 19 years old, lives in West Australia. The reason he chose the Subaru is he actually owns a Subaru in real life. So there you go. So that he's trying to just he obviously wants to do the job for the Subaru on the RX scene, which is, we can obviously support that. So, and he also just wanted to point out that he is CR Said McKee's coach, and he deserves every bit of credit for his championship as well. So, of course, I think Mickey returning the favour today, acting as his support and spotter today. So, perfect guy to have behind you. So, Jared filling in the boots. Just gonna jump now to obviously I'm just trying to keep an eye on who we're gonna have for heat race 2, which will be coming up very, very shortly. Due to start very, very shortly, and of course in the heavy rain we keep reminding ourselves, because that's gonna be a hell of a thing to watch, because it just becomes incredibly greasy out on circuit, and certain cars will have advantages in that conditions. We're going to be looking out for the Audis in particular. They're brilliant in the wet. The Subaru is going to suffer badly in these conditions, unfortunately.
Yes.
So, going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I don't. It's going to be hard for the Subies to actually get on the track, but the ones who do have it, they're going to be very brave. Will Jared keep up his good form and do well in the wet? Will he surprise us? Will he win his heat again? I think most of us will be hoping that he does, but again, we're not biased. We want to keep things fair, so yeah. As I think the reason why there's been a delay is there's no delay, but all the officiators are putting all the heat results together, and then the heats are put together from that way. So that's why we're hanging a little bit of weight at the moment.
Just got my invite, so
me too. Sake.
Coordinators are on it. So let's go have a look at who we're going to have for this one. We've got the two Danes in with each other. Pablo and Ferga, Jonathan Schaefer, and Nayun. So four car affair in this one.
Yeah, obviously Jonathan Schaefer, the one we were meant to be having in our heat before, ended up getting moved. So glad we have him in this one as well. And I'm just going to see if I can find... he lives in the east of France, and it's near the border of Germany, and his real love for rally and rallycross came at 1998, 1999, so he's been a rally fan for quite a long time now, so you can tell how he loves it so much based on the way he's driving.
Yeah, he likes to point out as well, he's from the same region that Sebastian Loeb is from. So we can kind of understand where the rallying's come from. His father was a pro rally driver. No, that's a different driver actually. Vladislav Denev's father was a rally driver. So we've got a little bit of pedigree happening there. But yeah, so definitely Jonathan from a rally region in France. And the rain's pouring down here in South Africa.
It is chucking it down, I must say. I don't envy the drivers right now.
So the two Audis are going to be definitely the ones to watch in these conditions. So watch out for Jonathan Schaefer, Pablo, Nayun in the Polo. So the Polo is going to be a little bit quicker in the wet because it's more of a tarmac car, that car. And Fergie, of course, in the Renault, the favourite car of every RX guy here. Which
No
it's the most
Subaru.
all-rounded car.
No Subaru. I'm gutted.
No Subaru in this one. No. Here we go, 4-car race right here with Jonathan Schaefer on the inside. He made the final, don't forget, in Yas Marina. Very quick driver. I did some donuts for us on streams. Hopefully we see that again. But of course, we have Fergan next to him, Paplo, then Nayun on the outside line. Let's get ready to rumble again. Table Mountain in the background with the rain pouring down, and South Africa ready to race light on. Green light and we're away. Great start from Nyan on the outside. Great start from Ferga as well in the Renault. She leads as they come towards turn 1. Gets it on the brakes. Jonathan Schaefer, a dive bomb up the inside. Manages to keep it together though. Ferga still ahead. Jonathan up the inside as they run through. Ferga leads from Jonathan Schaefer. Nayun behind and Paplo behind. Decent start from Ferga. Had a great drive out in Yas Marina. Now she's clear out in front. Ahead of Jonathan and ahead of Nayun. Paplo in behind, looks like he's going to take to the Joker. Jonathan right up against that wall. Incredibly precision driving from these guys. And Paplo on his way out of the Joker right there. So the two Danes in the same heat. And Jonathan, he's all over the back of Fergus as they run through the last chicane. Can't quite find a way past though. Fergus a touch wide. Jonathan's trying to sneak it up the inside right here. Nice job from Fergus, holds it together. Looks like Jonathan's going to get a better run out of here. Gets a little over the curbs. Those curbs are massively high here, so gets a little bit of a kick through there. Then Jonathan, a little look up the inside again through there. He's going to have to Joker. If I were Jonathan, I'd Joker right now. And he listens to me and goes. So he goes straight into the Joker. Ferga through turn 5. So Jonathan's going to be looking to come out ahead of Paplo. He might actually get Nayun if he's clever here. He's going to slot in behind the Polo and ahead of Paplo. So it's now going to be Nayun in P2 and Jonathan chasing down our leader. So Ferga, I think the smart choice is to go to the Joker because these guys are pretty close. Ferga, is she going to go? And yes, she does. Into the Joker lap she goes because Jonathan is caught fighting it out with Nayun in the background. She goes a little bit deep out into the tire barrier on the exit and looks like she's punctured the left rear. And she has indeed punctured the left rear. Just with that tiny mistake, the tire's off the rim now, as you can see, and into the wall hard in the last corner. And Jonathan now leads. Bit of a shame, it was only a small mistake, a little bit of misjudgment in the braking, and that's what can happen. But Jonathan Schaefer clear out front now in that Audi. And looking really comfortable. He's looking quick all the time. You can just see how much the rain's affecting them. It's so slippery out there. Paplo looking good in second. And Nayun down in third. Let's see what the difference in the times is going to be. As we run to the line, Jonathan Schaefer is going to win race 1 of Heat 2. No, he's not. He's going to pilot into the wall through the billboards and finishes. That's one way to finish it. Just pile drive your way through. Nayun does the same thing, but he doesn't quite make it. Reverses over the line. So the drivers are trying hard, as you can see, with 234.2. And that is that. So that final corner is catching out a lot of people, Jess.
Yeah, it is. And Kenna did catch a break because she always leads into turn 1. And then she always sometimes has a bit of trouble towards the middle of the race. And unfortunately, that led to her retirement from the race, which is a bit of a shame. That's going to cost her a huge chunk of points, which is a bit of a shame. But Jonathan Schaefer definitely showing what they're made of. 234.2 in the heavy rain.
Yep, currently the fastest time. And I think Signature was very unlucky there. I have to say, it was such a little tap on the barrier. And it was enough to just puncture that tyre. And we're going to head to the next race very shortly. So Penguino won the other heat, by the way, 237.8. So Jonathan's time, I think I believe he was, I felt he was held up by Ferga a little bit, but we'll just wait and see. But that could have cost Ferga a chance in the semi-finals, which is a little bit unfortunate. So let's get ready to go for race 2. And oh boy. I've just seen the lineup.
We are in for a spicy one.
Oh,
Ooh.
right. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, considering that Jared and Serene Logic are in the same heat.
Ah.
Now, if any of you are a part of the DiRT community, there's a running joke that Jared is gonna at some point take out Serene.
Oh god, you probably jinxed it now.
But he said he'd wait to the quarterfinals of the esports. I don't think he's actually gonna do it, but it's just funny that they're in the same heat because I know Serene's gonna be looking in his mirrors.
And they both qualified as well for Rallycross, so.
As is Veloce Izza. So,
oh.
as is everyone in this lobby is qualified. So there you go. So we could have one of the quarterfinals right here.
Exactly. This could be a warm-up, which is going to be very exciting actually, as we've got all 5 incredibly fast drivers waiting to see who's the best of the best really. And obviously Jared won Heat 1, Itza won Heat 2. Wow, I can't wait. I just can't wait. Can we just get this heat started?
Yeah, indeed. So Serene Logic and Izza are very familiar with each other. Yuna's always there, and Jared, of course, racing at 3 o'clock in the morning. Probably running on empty, but he's in with the big boys now, with Seth McKee in his ear. Let's see how he gets on. So we have a little bit of time actually. We've managed to get ahead of schedule here.
That's good.
And of course we are running interviews as well, so we get to hear from a few of the drivers, which is going to be nice. And it's going to be great fun to see how they go. I think we've got 2. Yeah, we've definitely got 2 Peugeots. And I'm not sure what Izza's in. I don't think he went for the Megane this time. I think he's gone with a different choice this time. Jared, of course, in the Subaru, which we're all very, very, very aware of. Let's have a look for Izza. And Izza is in the Audi. So 2 Peugeots, an Audi, and a Subaru. So a great choice there.
Good variety as well. It's not just the Megane like we saw last time. So it just spices things up a little bit.
Yeah, and of course a wide variety of countries. We've got 4 different countries competing right here. Netherlands.
France.
England. No, not France. Not in this one anyway. Netherlands, England, Finland, and Australia.
Ah.
But in general, yeah, we've got a very wide. We've got Australia, Czech Republic, Romania, Bulgaria, Russia, Denmark, a lot of places.
It's kind of like the Nations Cup in GT Sport. But it's not, it's a dirt rally.
Yeah, the Dirt Rally World Cup. So here we go. Probably one of the most interesting heat races right here that we're about to witness. And could well be, depending on the draw for the quarterfinals, this could be a quarterfinal. So, Jared in the Subaru, Yuna in the Peugeot, Izza in the Audi, and Serene Logic in the Peugeot as well. So the Peugeot and the Audi are going to be the strongest cars in the wet. We'll see how Jared manages to get it.
It's going to be tough to call who I think is going to win this one, but I think Itz is going to take it.
Right, we're going to have to watch out for one of these drivers. Yuna Pankinen is starting from the outside line. Watch for him yanking that handbrake for turn 1. So let's watch. Serene Logic second from the inside. Jared's right in the middle. And then we have Izza starting on the inside and Yuna on the outside. Ready to race line. Green light and away they go. Very even start. Serene Logic with a start actually. And it looks like Jared's got the best start of a lot of them. Trying to come around the outside here. On the outside line. And here comes Serene Logic, smart driving, slips up the inside of a lot of them as they come through. Serene Logic leads from Yuna, from Izza, and from Jared, who manages to slot back up to second. Through that first corner, Yuna and Jared going side, and looks like Yuna's off the road there. Izza's had a problem down the back. Yuna and Jared are fighting out hard in the background. And is Jared going to go to the Joker? Yes, he is. I don't think he wanted to go to the Joker, but he got forced into it. So Izza with a problem gets pushed down to the back. Serene Logic leads from Una Pankinen, from Jared, who's Joker, and come out ahead of Izza. So that's a disaster for Izza. Jared's the only one to have Jokered in the Subaru. Una second. Serene Logic out in front from smart driving through turn 1. Just kept it nice and tight on the inside and just followed him through. But that Subaru is not liking these wet conditions. I can see just Jared struggling for traction out of the corners. So it looks like Serene Logic's taken to the Joker. And he's going to try and cover off from Jared. Let's just watch that in the back. That's going to be a tight merge. And it looks like Serene Logic got the job done. Yes, he has. So he comes out in front of the Subaru. But that battling is going to have cost them time. Remember, they're still fighting for time. And Jared trying to slip it up the inside of Serene Logic. Great driving from the both of them. Inches between them. A little bit of contact made. And Jared gets shoved out a little bit wide there. Great driving from the two of them nonetheless. Great battling. And watch for Una now. He's going to take to the Joker. He's going to wait to the last lap. He's going to wait to the last lap. He hasn't actually got the gap. His battle is with Jared at this point in time, because Serene Logic's got the gap over him. So in through Una, sending it through the chicane with the Kevin Hansen livery. Of course, we hope Kevin Hansen's watching, seeing his car out in front. Of course, we're going to get the 2019 cars in February of this year as Jared slips up the inside of Serene Logic in the background. These guys battling, it's costing them time. They can't afford to be doing this. Una watching, we're going to take it to the Joker now and see what the gap's going to be. This is going to be a super tight merge. Jared's battling with Serene Logic in the background. What's the gap going to be? It looks like Una's going to get them both. Yes, he does, and Jared's managed to get ahead of Serene Logic. Into the last corner. Una Pankinen wins. Jared second, Serene Logic third, and Izza is fourth. 229.589 for Una Pankinen.
Look how close it is between Jared and Serene Logic.
Yeah, they were battling hard through that heat right there. And it looks like Serene's FPS dropped, that's probably why. But yeah, Una Pankinen wins Heat 2. So congratulations to Una.
Yeah, definitely well deserved. Jared, the king of the dry in this track so far, and Una Pankinen, the king of the wet. Both in one heat. It was great to see. Shame about Veloce Itz's mistake earlier on, which cost him a few points as well. But the rain is not for the faint-hearted here today.
And even with that was an incredibly fast heat, because I think all the top 4 should be in the top 5. So it was incredibly fast heat. It's well done to all the drivers. With Una Pankinen, I can't remember the last time he won a heat. It's been a long time. So
it's been ages, I must
Jared
say.
wins Heat 1 and Una wins Heat 2, so 2 different heat winners. But it should, just judging off the times, I think Jared should still hold that TQ spot, because it's a first and a second for Jared. And Serene Logic, where is he going to slot in? I think he's going to get third in this heat. Yeah, he is. And Veloce is going to get fifth, as far as I can see. Alexander Bottas is going to slot. Well, actually, and Jogan won his other heat, as far as I can see, with a 2:32.9. He's going to slot ahead of Izza, so should be top 5 for Jogan. Now we're going to have a small break until Heat 3, which is the last heat, and then we get to the all-important semi-finals. And we'll get a short few interviews as well after the heats, see how the drivers are feeling as they head into the semi-finals. Great racing so far, but Jess, that last corner seems to be a little bit of a problem area.
Yeah, it is. I think pretty much most people haven't avoided the wall, to be honest. It is hard not to avoid the wall, so I can see it causing a huge trouble for when it counts, especially in the semi-finals and finals.
Yeah, because drivers are pushing very, very hard through that section. And it's a very, very fast chicane as well, and in the wet it's even greasier than normal. So fair play to the drivers so far for negotiating it almost safely, but they should have learned from their mistakes. And at this stage, now the points are going to be totted up, and we're then going to head for Heat 3, race 1, excuse me. while the races get sorted out there. So we're going to head to race 1, then to the second race of heat 3. Then we're going to have post-heat interviews, and then we're going to head to the semi-final 1 and 2. And then the losers of the semi-final will head to the consolation final, where the winner goes through to the all-important final. And then we'll head to the post-event interviews and wrap it up from there until February, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Because thankfully, I think from the rumor mill that's going on, I think there will be one more public event before we head into the season, when Liddon Hill arrives on the scene in February with all the 2019 cars. I can't wait for that one. We're going to have a long break until we see Rallycross again, which is going to be a little bit sad.
Yes, but I'm guessing the people in here would want to practice for the quarterfinals coming up, for either Rallycross or Rally, so I'm guessing they want some time just to get used to what they will experience, and a chance for them to do well in the quarterfinals. These events would give them enough practice as well, but they won't know which tracks they will compete in the quarterfinals yet, so it's going to be tough.
They won't know what tracks and they won't know what car. So it could be the supercars, could be the RX2, could be the cross karts, Super 1600, you just don't know. But you get the quarterfinals, of course. The quarterfinals are happening through December, and the final, of course, at the Autosport show in Birmingham in January, on the weekend of the 11th, as far as I remember. That's when they're happening. So the best of luck to everyone who's already qualified.
I'll be there watching, almost certainly.
Yeah. I might make it out, I'll see. But on that particular day, of course, my university decided to slap an exam on the Saturday, so we'll see. But it is in the morning, so we'll see if I can just go to the airport immediately after. Maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see.
Depends how long it is. But,
yeah, I think it's only an hour and a half. Anyway, I'll figure it out when it comes to it.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I believe we have the races up, and yes, we do indeed. So we're going to be heading to race 1 in a little while. Still have plenty of time. We're way ahead of schedule, nearly 10 minutes early. So we're running
Good job.
perfectly well. So we've got the invite for the session. Now this next heat is going to be crucial for all these guys. For these three, it's only going to be a 3-car heat, but these guys are kind of teetering on the edge of qualifying for the semi-finals. So these guys need a clean run, especially Farragut, because she had a DNF on the last one. So she needs to get a quick time in here.
Yeah, she was last in that heat. No, in second heat. No one else did not finish. Everyone else actually made it to the finish line, which is a little bit of a shame. But he's got Nayan for company as well, who was 14th in the last heat. So if she wants to try and beat him in this round, it's going to be a miracle. But we've seen miracles happen in the past, as we've got Sig, who's currently P13 in the overall standings so far. And we've got Nayan, who is 15th in the overall standings. And we've got Cactus. Trying to find Cactus on the standings, but I can't find him. It's probably a different name that I don't know of. But we know that they're really, really close to either making it or not making it. So who's your money on winning this race?
Between Spikey did quite well in Heat 1, so he could be, especially because he's in the Audi as well, probably the quickest car in the wet. But then again, Juno won in the Peugeot, so there's no Peugeots in this one, just a Renault, a Polo, and an Audi. So we'll see. But of course, we know how fast Farragut is, so I reckon she can pull it together. So there are a few stewards investigations that will be going ahead after this heat. They're going to be investigating the incidents at the last corner, so we could have a few changes there, so we'll have to wait and see who makes the semi-finals if any stewards' inquiries get decided. So the sun is setting over South Africa, but the rain definitely hasn't stopped.
No, it stayed there from the last heat, so it's going to be more tricky, I think, because the sun is blinding in their eyes and also the rain as well, so the last corner is going to be extremely tough. The drivers have been warned, especially what happened in the last few races.
Yep, they have been warned as well of the Joker exit because of the way of how it joins up, and track limits as well. Watch the bollards. Can't be knocking too many of them over, otherwise you will be penalised. Because, well, mostly the bollards, it's usually the bollards, and then after that it's a tyre barrier, so the bollards are kind of there as a deterrent. You go further than the bollards, you're going to go into a tyre barrier. But of course we've got the news as well that this circuit is staying on the World RX calendar for at least another 2 years, which is fantastic. So we will see some more action from South Africa. So let's see for this one then. Nayoon on the inside, Fergie in the middle. So Fergie is always a fast starter, so we'll see how she gets on. These guys tend to start in second gear just because of the wheel spin, how short first gear is. Spiky on the outside, watch out for him as well. Crucial race for these guys. Will they make the semi-finals? Let's see. Ready to race, light on. Anti-lag on. Away from the line. Not the best start from Fergie that time. Getting the drive towards turn 1. They're 3 abreast as they go through. Is on for Nayoon. The inside. Spiky trying to hang it around the outside. Nayoon manages to get the line on the inside though. Fergie is second. Spiky down to last place here. And Nayoon goes a bit wide. Contact made, he's in the wall. But Fergie comes through, and she leads as Spiky and Nayoon go side by side towards the chicane. But now Fergie needs to get the hammer down. Nayoon goes to the Joker. Spiky spun in the background. Fergie has to avoid the tyre barriers. Now she needs to get her head down and run some fast laps. Oh, I've cursed her. Immediately through the last corner. Just got it a little bit wrong. Yeah, he's DNF'd actually, so that'll help her anyway. So doesn't it? It looks like she's avoided a puncture. Nayoon is circulating in the background. He has jokered, so now Fergie needs to get her head back on her shoulders. Keep going, because a finish is worth way more than a DNF. Because DNF is definitely 0 points, but any other finish is valid. Negotiates the last corner much better that time. So she's getting settled again. Runs very wide through the first corner. Uses the grass. Might get in a little bit of trouble for that one using the grass, but you tend to lose time anyway by going out that wide. Down the hill again, onto the brakes for the tight chicane. Neat and tidy through there. Now she has got the gap to come out ahead of Nayoon. So we'll wait to see. Through turn 5, nice and neat and tidy that time. Just needs to settle down a little bit. She has now got a chance of making this. So, on to the last lap. Waiting to Joker now. So this has of course been running in tandem with another heat. We'll see how that heat gets on. Coming over the jump for the last time. Nayoon is about 5 seconds back now, so Fergie's got a comfortable gap to come out in front. Through the tight chicane. Again, nice and neat and tidy. Into the Joker lap. Tarmac versus gravel, goes a tiny touch wide there. This is where she got her puncture last time. Much better that time. Out of the Joker she comes. And she will take the win in this heat. Punctures on the left front. But she still made it across the line and finish.
She just made it.
239.3. That is not going to be enough, judging off of the
other
previous times. So just the things to be investigated, just to keep you updated on that route. Judging off Heat 2, Race 2, the incident between Jonathan Schaefer and Nayoon, which I believe was at the last corner. And to race 4, which would have been Serene and Jared, I believe. Turn 1 and turn 2. Maybe there was a little bit of something going on there, but they're currently being investigated. So Fergus takes the win even with the puncture. And looks like Penguino's lobbies had to be restarted, so we'll be waiting. Fergus from Nyun and Spiky, who was a DNF. So even if Fergus, she had a bad heat there, but even so, still managed to win and set a time, which is crucial if she wants to make the semi-finals. So now we gotta wait for the next couple of heats, and I will be back in a moment. And we are back, and my god, the heat race we have for you here. So, Serene Logic, Una Pankinen, Alexandru Baltos, and Jared all in the one heat, which is going to be interesting to say the least. We're going to head straight into it. So, we have two SDL teammates, we have Jared and we have Serene, and these guys are fighting it out to win the qualifying session outright and secure their place in semi-finals. I think they're all secure in the semi-final anyway. But just saying a quick hello to everyone's in the chat. Hi to Quinto, Damien's in there as well. I see Alex is in there. Loads of people joined us in the Rallycross. If you are new, stay tuned. We've got plenty of action yet to come with the semi-finals and the final. We've got Heat 3 to sort out. We'll have a couple of interviews as well with a few of the drivers. See how they're getting on. But the last of the rain, well actually no, not the last of the rain. We still have the semi-finals to get into, but here we are, sunset in the rain. Rain still pouring down. And 4 of the finest racers on dirt going against each other. Can't beat it.
No, this is another one of those type of quarterfinals you could expect if these guys race against each other, but you never know. And we're about to get started once again for the final race of Heat 3.
Here we go. So 2 Peugeots, a Subaru and an Audi. So from right to left it is Serene Logic, Una Pankinen, Jared, and on the outside in the last Audi is of course Veloce, is it? let's get ready to go. Or this. I don't know why I said Isa, because it's clearly Alexander Bottas, but away they go. It looks like they've had a terrible, terrible start for one of the drivers down the back. Looks like we're having a restart. Yeah, we're having a restart. By the looks of it, every driver's backed off. I'm not sure what happened there. But by the looks of it, I believe there was a little bit of desync there. So we're going to have a restart of this heat. But, of course, I managed to mix up Bottas and Isa because they're running the exact same livery and the exact same car. So that's that for that heat.
I knew what happened. I know what happened. It was, well, because it wasn't long before the drivers actually went to go. So it's basically it was a green light bug, basically, we like to call it here in Dirt Rally. So they got that.
Yeah, which is a little bit annoying. It's it's a desync issue, which tends to happen. But we'll just get a restart of that anyway. Either that or there was a jump start for somebody, which could also happen. But that tends to give a penalty. We would have been notified about. So we'll go again. We'll try again for this one.
I'm trying to get in.
Yeah. So just getting the countdown for that. Alright, that was a hardware issue for somebody. I'm not sure why these guys have left the lobby because they're just going to be in the same one. We'll get ready to go very shortly again. Unless there was just a connection issue for somebody.
That's usually the cause.
Yeah. Green light, because it looked like Alexandru got the green light first. So we'll just see. And right, here we go. And by the looks of it, they started without me.
Ah.
Why?
Well,
right.
I'm in there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a restart again.
Yeah, we will.
Because they didn't.
It happened before last time, but with me.
Yeah, my spectate mode wasn't triggered.
Yeah. It
Sorry
said...
for this. We tend to get this.
Yeah, we'll try and get the race underway soon. I'm actually gonna leave as well, because otherwise I'm gonna end up in this as well. I'm not sure if they're gonna restart, but I'll keep an eye on it anyway.
Yeah. Unless they decide. Well, anyway, they're gonna go by the looks of it, so I'll keep an eye on things anyway.
I'm in it anyway, so if I could. And we are underway, and it looks like Jared has got a decent start off the line going into turn 1, and we also got Serene Logic in there as well. There's almost a bit of contact already as three of them going side by side. Oh, Jared has lost it into turn 2. And I think he's got a bit of a penalty there as he had to go off the circuit. Jona Packardon then is leading the way from everybody else as Alexander Bottas in P2. And we've got quite a few people actually nobody's taken a Joker lap this far. Actually, no, there's someone that's taken a Joker lap. I wasn't sure who it was. I think it was Serene Logic that took the Joker lap. But Jared, well, poor start from him. And he's got a lot of ground to make up. But Jona Packardon leads, Alexander Bottas second. Serene Logic and Jared are going to keep fighting on the line to see if they can try and get some headway there. As we've got Serene Logic taking a Joker. Jared hasn't taken a Joker yet, so no matter what, Serene Logic is going to be ahead of Jared. But they're still going to have a bit of glory anyway. They're still going to try and get a bit of fighting done anyway. As Jona Pankinen is already pulling away from Alexander Bottas, so yeah, I think he's gonna comfortably get some clean air, and if he keeps this up, he's definitely going to secure his place in the semi-finals. And no one else taking the Joker yet. Oh, almost a bit of a wall calamity there from one of them anyway. Especially in this heavy rain, as we have still got Jared ahead of Serene Logic. It's still gonna be quite a gap anyway, as they try to take the Joker pretty soon. As we got a few Subarus in this lobby as well. Jared in the Subaru, and it is quite tricky in the wet. So full respect to him. As Jona Pankinen, 4-second gap right now. So, and he's currently going towards the last couple of corners, as he's going to take the Joker, and so with Alexander Bottas and Jared as well. They've got to take the Joker. And Jona Pankinen across the line, and yes, he wins. Serene Logic second, Bottas third, and Jared. I thought Jared didn't take the Joker yet, but he didn't. So, but what a heat for Jona Pankinen. So, a 26.7 for the Finnish driver. So, that was a good race.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to see it, but
I had to step in
there. I don't know.
I wasn't expecting to step in, but I kind of had to, because otherwise there would have been no stream of race, and we wouldn't want that. So, yes, I don't know what that does with the overall heat results, but I'm sure Jona Pankinen's going to top that after that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think anyone has beaten his time.
No, they definitely haven't. He's definitely won. And Jared has got that penalty removed, so he's fine in that regard. So his time will move from 248 to 238.5.
Oh, that's good.
Because it's one of those, if you run into a certain area, your car gets a reset and you immediately get a 10-second penalty. So that's the heat race is done. And now we head to the most important and best part, the semi-finals and final, which will be getting underway at about 10:02. So we've got lots of time. We're now going to just have a quick look and see if we got anybody who wants to have an interview. By the looks of it, no. Drivers are too focused at this point. So by the looks of it, Yuna is probably going to win top qualifier, and then he'll get into the semi-finals. But we had Jared win his first heat, Juna, and then Juna again. So two from three. Pretty good.
Yeah, he's unstoppable. He's one of the top names of dirt, so I'm not really that surprised. And
yeah, so speaking of Yuna, we've actually managed to grab him from the ready to interview box. So Yuna, two heat wins. Looks like you're very, very comfortable in that Peugeot in the wet. Pretty good job from you.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it in the wet, so that was really fun.
So the how is the wet conditions? It looks like that last corner is giving some problems for people.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, the circuit it looks quite tricky in the wet, especially that last corner, that fast chicane. Looks like there's a few people having problems negotiating it.
Sorry, I had an interruption there. Yeah, I'm back.
All right, we're back.
Third
time
sorry.
lucky. Right, so the track, it's looking quite greasy out there, especially in that last fast chicane. We saw plenty of people having problems with it.
Yeah, you gotta take it real careful there. It can be tricky to go through it. But
so
really have to slow it down compared to how it's in dry actually. But I really enjoyed it in the dry actually. Like I had a pretty bad run in the dry track, and the final will be dry, so see how it goes. But that was super fun.
And then Dad, Jess.
Sorry, I was coughing for a little bit there. I kind of had a bit of a coughing fit. But since this Cape Town track is quite a new track for all of you guys. How much practice did you have to make sure you were getting used to this track? Because I guess you didn't have a lot of time because the track came out quite late into the week. And how were you trying to adapt to this track compared to the others?
Well, yesterday I actually like hot lapped the track on dry for like 3 hours straight. I really tried to get the world track out there, so it took a lot of time yesterday.
Yeah, I'd imagine, and I think we've all seen the video of you showing us around. I've probably seen that as the hot lap. It's quite impressive, actually. So, so Juna, best of luck for the semi-finals, and hopefully we'll talk to you again after the final.
All right.
So, now we're gonna grab a certain Mr. Tired Australian boy. In he comes. Jared, a very good morning to you.
Yes.
It must be about 3:30 in the morning over there at this point. So
4:30.
4:30 in the morning, right? So thanks for getting up once again. So a heat race win, a qualifying session win, and looking pretty good for the semi-finals. How is that Subaru handling out there?
Oh, it's perfect. It's just got the right amount of understeer, which is what you need for the wet. So, don't know if you saw on the second race I did. I got a nice move on Serene Logic. Just kept it Circuit Racer Boy on the inside, got by him, and then got second on that race as well. And in that last race, obviously, you probably saw I got absolutely wiped out, which was exciting.
Yeah, you did.
We did see that quite clearly, but so this Cape Town circuit, it's only a new circuit, of course. Only came out this week. So how much time have you actually put into practice for this event?
Oh, I've put in I don't know, maybe a few hours total by now. Well, probably more. I was playing a fair bit this morning with old mate Mickey, doing some practice runs, and he gave me a set-off and stuff, so props to him. Thanks to my teammate for that. Probably half the pace comes from his setup, so helpful.
Yeah, so of course Mickey, the current champion. So is he providing some good support for you? And is he supporting you well? Is he doing his job?
Yeah, he is for sure. We're in the Discord, in our own Discord at the moment. He's always cheering me on, which is very nice.
Yeah, great to have him back next season. But yeah, Koenig, we'll let you go. Get ready for the semi-finals. So best of luck for that, and hopefully we'll talk to you afterwards.
Thanks, mate. Catch ya.
Right, so that is it for the interviews anyway. At least the drivers took some time to come and talk to us. So we got to hear from Una and from Jared, and just seeing the stewards' inquiries.
They're still ongoing at the moment. They're still discussing it, I believe.
As far as I can see, yep. So Jonathan and Nyan have received a track limit warning for track limits. So that's what was going on there. Just think track extension.
That means if they do it again, then they could face consequences in the finals. Ooh.
Now we've had a second one. Jared receives a 10-second penalty for dangerous driving and forcing a driver off the track. So apparently that was a move. That's probably that is what happened to Izza. So that's probably why Izza got shoved down to the back. Maybe there was a little bit of contact there. But Jared has received a 10-second penalty, and Una has received a 5-second penalty for forcing Jared off. So this is gonna shake things up a whole lot in the order.
In terms of which race they're going to go into the semi-final, definitely. That is what I wasn't expecting Una Packinen to get a penalty, but it just goes to show how difficult this track is. So.
Yeah, it was for that turn 1 incident where Jared got spun around. It was for forcing him wide, so he received a 5-second. And it's a 10-second penalty for Jared for putting Izza into a tyre barrier. Apparently, I didn't watch that at all.
That might have been in the heat that we weren't watching.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I think it was Heat 1. I think it was definitely in Heat 1 in one of the races, because we saw Izza like get dumped down to the back, which is what I assume was the cause. Contact with Jared, so that was the heat that Jared won. So Jared, what that's done actually is he got his 10-second reset penalty removed, but now he's just got the 10 seconds back again. So
that hasn't changed in terms of Jared if he's qualified or not. That still puts him in the semis, so that's not going to affect him too much.
Yeah, for Yuna, he'll definitely be in it. It's just going to be as regards the all-important which semi-final you get put in, because the way the semi-final format works is that the odd-numbered drivers go into one race and go into another. So P1, 3, 5, and 7, and 2, 4, 6, and 8 go in there, and then of course the top 2 go through, and then we have the consolation final where where the winner goes through. That's how we form the final.
And the consolation finals, P3 and P4 from that race, from the semi-final races, go through to those finals. So if you finish P5 in the semi-final race, in either one, you're out, basically. So that is cruel, but it's fair, because obviously we want to try and eliminate the worst and make sure we have the best drivers to compete in the final.
Yep, and I've just been informed, Ferga, she's made the semi-final. She's made it, even with the DNF, so congratulations to her. She's made it in again. So
last minute one, just like last time, due to penalties, so she must be having luck that time.
Yep, so it happened in Yas Marina, and it's happened again for this one. And we all know the incredible drive she put in the semi-final in Yas Marina, coming close to winning it. So it's going to be interesting to see how she gets on. So she's going to be in semi-final 2 for it, if she's just made it in. So I think Spikey couldn't make it. Spikey was in.
Yeah, Spikey was in, and then he had to go, which was a shame, but you know.
Yeah, because it's been a long time since he made the semis. He's been a regular in the DiRT series since the DiRT 4 days. So we've got a little bit of time to the semi-finals, and just seeing a little bit of messages from Jonathan Schaefer. He's actually one of the few drivers who drives in VR. So that in VR and the heavy rain, he's just saying, I literally can't see anything in VR.
Yeah, the visibility must be difficult, because obviously you're experiencing as if it was in real life, and it's hard to see cars around you if you're doing that, because obviously there'll be people that will be doing nose cam or chase cam or even cockpit cam, whereas he will just be as if he was in the car, but a lot harder. So, but it gives you more of an immersive experience as well.
Yeah, indeed. So I'm just looking at the lineup for semi-finals. Semi-final 1's going to be an interesting one. We've got a few drivers in there that have never made a semi, so it's
we know Sig's through, but we haven't told the viewers who else has made it through. So shall we go through the running order of who's made it through to the semis?
Yes, we should indeed. So semi-final number 1, Serene Logic, Yuna Pankinen, Jared, Jonathan Schaefer, and Pablo, who's made it into the semis.
That is
semi-final
a semi-final.
2. Semi-final 2 is Jogan, Izza, Alexandru Bottas, Colossus, and Ferga. So that's semi-final 1's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I would expect it to be a final, but only 2 can make it. So we've seen. Well, I'm not going to say anything much, because before we be people complaining I'll be jinxing them. So I'm not going to say it until after the race. So, but unfortunately there was a few people that didn't quite make it this time. But it gives them a chance to practice for future events that we do, and obviously the season, because they will be facing this race again in the next season of Rallycross, because every single one of the tracks in the Rallycross calendar in Dirt Rally we will be competing, so they will have to face this again at some point.
Yeah, which is the beautiful World RX calendar. And of course, by the time February comes around, we'll have 2019 spec cars, which is going to be wonderful. So hopefully we're going to get a shake up in the order of things with the which cars are going to be. We're going to of course be getting 2019 spec Peugeots, the 2019 spec GCK Meganes, the GCK Academy Renault Clios. We're going to have the new starred Fiesta, the Mark 8 Evo Fiesta, the Mini, of course, we might see the Mini make a return, and the car that dominated Dirt 4, the Seat. So the Seat might make its way back to the top again. That thing was incredibly fast on Dirt 4. I think it was the only car that anyone ever used Dirt was the Seat. If you look back on old videos of AORX and of course the Dirt World Championships. But we've got a semi-final first.
Yeah, we got that to worry about in the famous Cape Town circuit, and we are ready to go. Yes, we're ready to go. All drivers are ready, and they're about to get their setups on and hopefully give us a semi-final to remember. We've got Serene Logic, we've got Jonathan Schaefer, we've got Jared. We have got a very tight semi-final. Only 2 can make it. 3 and 4 go to the consolation finals, and 1 person won't make it. So, and they're all quick drivers. So, either way, we are going to have an upset today.
Yeah, we're going to have somebody else other than Mickey win. So anything like that is great. So Mickey is of course watching on the sidelines. As Jared said, he's in the Discord giving Jared some support, who is the only Subaru in here in this semi-final one. 2 Peugeots, 2 Audis and a Subaru with a Pablo. So the 2 Danes have made it to the semi-finals. So they're representing Denmark very, very well here today. There's plenty of Danish support in the chat as well, I've just seen as well. So cheering on the Danes. So let's get ready to go for the first semi-final of the night here in Cape Town, South Africa. The rain is still pouring down, and who's going to come out on top here? Here we go. Jonathan Schaefer starting on the inside, Serene next, then Jared, then Una Pankinen starting from the outside. Watch out for him, he likes to use it brake, so let's watch. Here we go then, semi-final one from Cape Town, South Africa is ready to go on the line, ready to race. Green light and we're away. Great start from the 3 cars on the inside line. Jonathan Schaefer does not get away well, and they go towards turn number 1. Jared trying to hang around the outside. Heidi onto the brakes, and he is through into the lead as the lead. Pablo makes it up to second for a moment, and contact between Jared and Serene Logic. Jonathan Schaefer goes through to 3rd place, and they now try to sort themselves as Serene Logic leads. Jared is 2nd, Jonathan Schaefer is 3rd. Yuna's had a disaster, he's down to 4th, and Pablo's down in the last position in 5th. Jared into the wall on the exit of turn 5, but in the prime position at the moment it's Serene Logic and Jared who lead after lap 1, but Jonathan Schaefer is looking hungry in that Audi, looking really quick, looking really nice and neat and tidy. 3 different cars in the top 3, which is what we like to say. 6 laps in the semi-final, of course, compared to the 4 in the heats. So now they've just got to keep themselves in prime position. Jared's got to be watching his mirrors for that fast Audi of Jonathan Schaefer. He goes a bit wide through the chicane. Now here comes Jonathan Schaefer on the outside line. Turn 5, he goes to the Joker. Smart decision. Now he's going to try and get out in front of Una, who backs it into the background in turn 5, almost in the wall. And Jonathan on his way out of the Joker lap, he's going to slot into some clean air, which is crucial for his chances. And now Una Pankinen right on the back of Jared as they run through turn 1. That Audi looking pretty quick, that Peugeot looking pretty quick, the Subaru looking like it's looking like it's pretty good in these conditions. You can see the understeer it's suffering from as well. Over the jump, Serene Logic with a 1.3 second lead now after that mistake. Jared through the chicane, a little bit neater this time. Juna, where does he go? He stays on the standard lap, backing it into that turn 5. Spectacular stuff. Jared, a wider line through there. Serene Logic is opening that gap. Serene Logic looking really, really good out there. Jared massively sideways through the last chicane. How has he held on to that Subaru? Unbelievable. Holds the inside line. Yuna's now all as they run through turn number 1 onto the handbrake, through turn 1, through turn 2, over the curb. And over the jump they go. Jared somehow kept that out of the wall. It was unbelievably close. Defensive line from Jared through the chicane. Then Yuna, is he going to the Joker this time? Yes, he is. He's going to try to defend from Jonathan Schaefer in the background. We're going to watch for Jonathan. You can see Yuna on the Joker exit. It looks like Yuna's done enough. As far as we can see, Jonathan on the power, and Yuna has done enough to keep himself in front. So now it's the battle between Yuna and Jared on the Joker merge. Serene Logic looking comfortable out front. But this is for a crucial spot in the semi-final, which is what we were looking at. Third place goes to the consolation. So here we go, 4.4 seconds back from Jared to Yuna. And Serene Logic 1.1 ahead. Now Jared, has he gone to the Joker? No, he hasn't. He's actually closed the gap on Serene Logic. They're both in the Joker now, as you can see. Here comes Yuna Pankin, and he's going to get ahead of Jared. Yes, he is. And it's going to be super close up front between Yuna and the leader. And here comes Jared up the inside and through turn 1. Is he going to get the done on the inside? The Subaru takes up the inside and he takes one over on the Dirt World Champion into second place, into the semi-finals. Brilliant move from the Australian. Crucial move to get that Subaru into the final. But Yuna's not going to have that. He's going to come back and see if he can make a move through turn 5. He's going to get himself on the inside line. Can he send it one up the inside here? Trying to get a tighter line. Runs the line, Serene Logic. He's going to win semi-final one, barring any mistakes. Coming through the final chicane. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. Jared makes the final. And Juna Pankinen progresses to the consolation final. Jonathan Schaefer we say goodbye to. And Pablo. Jared, what a move. Take a bow.
Jared, that was insane. He only just missed out on the finals last time, but he has made the finals today. And Jonathan Schaefer, we don't say goodbye to. He's also in the consolation finals as well. It's third and fourth that get put into the consolation finals in each semi. So it's two from each semi-final. So we say goodbye to Pablo, and that's the only one we say goodbye to. But everyone else we see again, Jared and Serene Logic, who never made the finals in the first public event. They both made it to the finals this time. That's going to get spicy.
I have to say, Nigel, this is the best I've seen him drive in a long time. He's looking incredibly good today. So I will not discount him from an event win today. He's looking incredible. So it'd be great to see Nigel back on top. It's been a long time since we've seen him on the top step. So let's see.
Yeah, because we've seen last time that Yas Marino event, it was the first event in a long time where he didn't make the finals. So he is back on form. He's starting his streak again. Hopefully he can continue that streak. So he's got to concentrate on the finals now. He's got a bit more time to practice. Because obviously we've got the second semi-final and the consolation final. So he's got time to find out who his rivals are, and see if he can have a little bit of an edge in the competition. As we've got an invite for the next semi-final.
Semi-final 2. And all crucial ones. So we have our first final lineup. We have Serene Logic and Jared, who makes the final for the very first time. So not a bad job, and he's done it in the Subaru as well. So that we have a Subaru in the final, which is what we wanted. It's what everyone wanted to see.
I think everyone in the chat wanted to see that. So the chat have got their wish. So, yeah.
So we've got how many Subarus in this one? We just have, I believe Yogan is the only Subaru in this one, unless Colossus is in one. But oh yeah, definitely, yeah. So Yogan might do it. We know how he did in Yas Marina with his third place, and how strong he is in the wet. Of course, Jogan, of course, Swedish driver, 21 years of age, studying IT. Actually, the majority of our drivers actually study IT in some way, which is an interesting statistic. But he is one of the few ones. He actually has a family that also race in this championship. He's had his dad and his brother as his teammates before.
Wow.
So almost like the Hansen brothers, with the father running the team and the brother as the teammate. And they are Swedish too, so who knows? It could be the Hansens in disguise.
Exactly. And it's quite, I don't know why it's common to have an IT specialism in what they do. I also have a job in IT as well, so it's not just the drivers. And also obviously Jack does media as well, so
yeah,
it's a common trait.
Yeah, of course. Serene Logic is a 4th year IT student. Surf, he wasn't working today. He works in IT as well. Plenty of students, mechanics. So we've got a wide range of people here, which is always great to see. But 2 Subarus in this semi-final, so
yes,
there is a good chance that at least one of them will make it through.
Don't jinx it now, Jack. You jinxed something before, and we're not gonna let you do it again.
Oh, we have a Subaru sandwich, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
One on the outside, one on the inside. Jogan's got the inside line. Ferrigan next to him. Then the 2 Audis. And the last Subaru on the outside, which is Colossus. Oh, semi-final number 2. Ready to race light on. Away we go from line. Good start from the Audis in the middle of the road. Get the job. It looks like Jogan's got the jump into turn 1. Contact between himself and Ferrigan. Alexander Bottas gets himself involved in a little bit of an instant there. Ferrigan's got ahead. Jogan up the inside of Ferrigan, but Ferrigan's got the jump in semi-final 2. Veloce is into 3rd place, and Alexander Bottas gets dumped down to 4th place after contact through there. But it's Ferrigan who leads, with Jogan now trying to get up the inside. There's more contact. Jogan goes to the Joker. This worked for him last time. Let's see how it does for him this time. Alexander Bottas contact made with Izza as they run through turn 5. But I think that decision to Joker for Jogan is going to be a good choice as they run through. Colossus 5th, but it's Ferrigan out in front. Again, she got the jump, but she goes wide through turn 1. Veloci is he up the inside? He tried to get the move done. And now can he get the run over the jump? Let's see if we can do it here. Looking to the outside, Ferrigan defends the inside. He goes late on the brakes, trying to sweep around the outside. Oh, it's contact! Ferrigan's in the wall, reverses out. Veloci is involved. Bottas goes through. Jogan is in prime position now in that Subaru. He's jokered already. One of the Audis in the wall. Alexander Bottas in the wall. Veloci is trying to come around the outside of him now. It's a bit of a messy semi-final, if I do say so. And Izza's in the wall. Jogan's into him as well. Ferrigan's involved, and Colossus is right back in this now as well. What on earth is happening? Colossus up the inside of Ferrigan into 2nd place. Is he going to grab the lead from Jogan? There's even more contact. Colossus involved with Ferrigan as well. This is incredibly messy. As we look right here, this is very, very messy driving from these guys. And after all that, it's Alexander Bottas who leads out front. Jogan is 2nd. Veloci is it to the Joker. Colossus is now 4th. He might get a chance to progress to the consolation. No, he doesn't, because he's just spun it in the background, as I just said that. Veloci is into 3rd place. And Ferrigan drops down to the back after her Joker. But oh my lord, that was a bit chaotic.
Everyone was involved in an instance.
Everyone involved with everyone. But Bottas still to Joker. Is he going to go to the Joker this time? No, he's going to wait. Jogan in 2nd place. He'll get to the semi-final. And now just seeing Colossus and Ferrigan just swapping places there. Ferrigan's into 4th. She will not make the final at this rate. But after the chaos we've seen in this semi-final, anything could happen. But
she'll make the consolation if she keeps it up.
Now Izza has already jokered, so she's got to beat Veloci, is it? So we're going to have an interesting consolation final, because we're going to have Izza in there, and we're going to have Una Pankin as well. So we're gonna see how this pans out. But Jogan, is he gonna make it 2 Subarus in the final? Let's see. Veloce Izza is hunting him down in the background because Izza hasn't had much practice on this track at all. So he's done well to get himself into this position nonetheless. But can Jogan put a semi-final win on the cards for the Subaru on its last outing in AO1? Up and over the jump. Watch for Botos. Now this is going to be tight between himself and Veloce Izza on the exit. Let's watch this now as Botos enters the Joker lap. Will he come out in front of Veloce Izza? It's going to be incredibly tight.
Ooh.
Jogan comes out. He's going to come out in the lead. He's just done a great joke from Alexander Botas. He goes through. Jogan second, and Veloce Izza goes to the consolation final. It's 2 Subarus in the final.
Yes, Jogan, you've done us proud. So we won't see the last of the Subarus, at least anyway. So yeah, I'm proud of that.
I do have a feeling there may be some stewards' inquiries after that one.
Yeah, I'm almost certain there will be. There was just so much carnage that happened in there. I think a few of those drivers in that race were a bit speechless there. So, yeah. So this might not be the actual results.
Yeah, provisional. So penalties might be coming.
I'm almost certain semi-final 1 will be obviously confirmed, but semi-final 2 is going to be a lot of investigations, I think, unless they decide not to do some investigations.
They are. I've just heard from Serene Logic that whole first half is under investigation.
Ah, right. So we at the moment we don't know who's made it through because every single one of them were involved.
Yeah.
So
by the looks of it, it's going to be. I think Botas is under review. He might get a penalty, but we'll see. We're going to have the consolation final coming up very shortly, and then the grand final. So don't go anywhere while the stewards frantically do their magic. So, but be happy that currently, provisionally, there are 2 Subarus in the final.
yeah, provisionally anyway. Which is nice to see. And will we see a Subaru win the actual thing? I don't know. We've seen how close it was in the other heats, and we may see it again before, but you never know.
Yeah. Well, even if we don't see a Subaru win, we may see a Subaru on the podium, which has never happened in AOR. So it'd be nice to see. The Super, just in case any of you are wondering, is not actually a World Rallycross car. It is a America's Rallycross car, or should I say, a former ARX car, because America's Rallycross is no longer with us.
Aww.
So, unfortunate after VW pulled out. But just some speculation. If Subaru decide to come over to Europe, then we could have Subaru in World RX, and that'd be spicy. But we'll wait and see what that is, because now we're having Rallycross withdrawals because the World RX season is over, and we miss it terribly.
We all do.
Because of that final race in Cape Town alone.
Penalties. If you haven't watched it, that sums it up really.
Yeah. Actually, if you're in the chat right now and you have seen the World RX final, give us your opinion on that incident between Hansen and Baccarat. Who do you think was in the wrong? I'd like to see. Because there's been a division of opinion. So, let us know in the chat.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch it, so I can't give my opinion. But all I knew was there was penalties, so...
Yeah, so anyway, we're just getting the stewards' inquiries underway.
So who will join Serene Logic and Jared in the finals?
By the looks of it, not if we're just going to wait for official confirmation.
Yeah,
but
we're going to wait.
We don't the penalty.
Yeah, I think one driver's definitely going to receive it at the moment.
Yeah, a couple of people saying it'd be nice to see Backerud come back with Subaru, which is a possibility because if you remember, he did do a round with them in America's Rallycross in the Subaru, along with Yanni Weeman as well. So if we do see Subaru over, I would love to see Backerud in a Subaru. And immediately I'm seeing the opinions come in regarding the incident, which is division of opinions. Some people saying Backrod was in the right, the Backrod was in the wrong, or it was a racing incident. Anyway,
we do have a stewards result.
Yes, we do.
So Alexander Bottas, 5-second penalty for forcing Veloce Izza off the track at the start. All the other incidents, no further action at this stage.
So that means Jogan goes through. Well, he was through anyway, but that put Izza is through to the final, and
Jogan has won semi-final 2 then.
The Subaru has won semi-final 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Woohoo!
Hoggers in the chat.
I got cough.
What else do we have? We also that should mean that Alexandru should make the consolation, because I think there was a bigger gap than 5 seconds back to Fergie.
Yeah, I think so. But wow,
what a final we've got now! This is a big shake-up.
So we've got Jared Serenogic, Jogan, and Veloce Izza as well.
And the great thing is, any one of them could win it. There's nobody dominating here. Literally any one of them could win it.
That's how close this field is, due to the fact they haven't had much time to practice as well.
But we still have the consolation final to see who else is going to join them, which is going to be occurring shortly.
Yeah, so 4 drivers will be in that final, and only 1 will make it through. That's how tight it is. So if you made it into that in that consolation final, you only have 1 shot at making it. You got to win. If you don't win, you're out.
Yep, and that is the brutal nature of the consolation final. It's all to play for, which, again, it could lead to some messiness, but we shall see.
Yes.
Let's get ready to rumble again then, as we wait for our invites. So just get through who's in the consolation. Una Pankinen is in the consolation, and I think Alexandru should be in it.
I'm almost certain. We will check in a minute.
I believe Ferg is in it too. I think she's in the consolation.
Yeah, 3 and I think we were
wrong. 3 and 4 go through.
4. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh. This is not a consolation final. Come on, guys, you're playing with me here. Alexandru Bottas, Una Pankinen, Jonathan Schaefer,
and Sig. Wow.
And Fergie in there too. Yeah. Oh dear.
And only 1 can make it.
Oh
no.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Only 1 of them can make it through. Oh dear God.
So we'll definitely have a different top 3. Almost certainly.
I don't know who. I genuinely don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Let us know your opinions in the chat on who you think is going to win this consolation final. I'm not going to predict, because if I do predict, I'm probably going to commentators curse someone.
Yep.
So, not going to say anything more.
So, just checking. Just making sure my spectate mode is enabled. It is. So I think we're waiting for 1 more. I think it is a 5-car consolation, or it should be. No, it shouldn't.
No, it's
be,
4.
actually.
It's 4.
We're ahead of schedule. That's why.
I think we're just waiting on Una Pankinen.
He is in, so I think we're just.
Oh, is that it?
I think we're just waiting until 10 past. Yeah, we're ahead of schedule, and here we go.
2 minutes early.
2 minutes early. Oh dear God Almighty!
Just hope the stewards don't have any steward inquiries to deal with. Otherwise, that's going to be a long night for the stewards, but
Yeah, indeed. So support for Jonathan Schaefer coming in as well. Yeah, Jonathan always a dark horse as well. Always just and consolation for
last
race.
time.
Hallelujah! The rain has stopped, but it's still wet on the track. So
I think the heavy rain's gone now.
the heavy rain is gone, but we still have rain on the circuit, so it's still wet. So 2 Audis, a Peugeot, and a Renault. Now we know the Renault is one of the quickest off the line. But we shall see. Those Audis are quick as well. It's anyone's into turn 1, really. Sad face, no Subarus in this one. But they're already but the smiley face, they're already in the final.
There's 2.
There's 2 of them. Jogan and Jared have got the job done for the Subaru.
And Serene Logic, I can't remember what car he's in.
He's in the Peugeot, so he's done it for the Peugeot.
And Veloce is in the Audi, so
We need to get a Renault in there. So Fergie needs to win to get a Renault in there.
Jinx it!
That'll be the first time a Renault has not made the. If this is the case, if Fergie does not go through.
Wow. So no pressure.
Dear God. Close your eyes or do something, because this is going to be mental. Here we go. Consolation final live from Cape Town, South Africa. Ready to race live. Top in this one. Green Lion we're away. Great start. Amazing start from the Renault of Fergie. She moves immediately to the inside line. Has she got that job done into turn 1? Gets it stopped. Jonathan Juna Pankin up the inside. Can he get it stopped on Fergie as well? Jonathan Schaefer up the inside. Fergie goes wide. Juna Pankin around to the outside line.
Oh!
Huge amount of contact through there. Fergie's still ahead. Jonathan Schaefer and Juna Pankin. Huge problems in the background. Bottas into second place, into the back of Fergie. Jonathan Schaefer's in there as well. Huge amount of carnage. I saw this coming. Juna Pankin goes to Jörg Gibbs out of that carnage. I saw that one coming.
And so is Jonathan Schaefer as well.
Mistakes. Yeah, they managed to come out of that a little bit unscathed, but Fergie with a monstrous getaway off the line leads with Alexander Bottas looking up the inside. Juna Pankin is already jokered, and he's already 2.3 back, so he's within the distance already. So Juna Pankin right in there. There's contact between Fergie and Bottas as he chucked it up the inside there. Sent Fergie around. She was totally innocent in that one. Juna Pankin is back in the lead. Alexander Bottas is second. And Jonathan Schaefer is right in there too. But Bottas, completely at fault of that one, I think.
Yep, I think so. But the race is not over yet. There's 3 cars in winning a shot in getting into the final. That's how close it is. They've got 3 more laps to go.
Slickly done from Jonathan Schaefer up the inside of Alexander Bottas. Gets it done.
And Ferg's out. Ferg's out.
Ferg is out. So she's lost her chance of getting into the final through no fault of her own. But Juna Pankin in complete control out front at this point. Bottas in the wall in the background. But can Jonathan Schaefer chase Juna Pankin down? We've got 3 laps left, and it's only these 2 left. The other 2 have given up. So the battle comes down to Juna Pankin versus Jonathan Schaefer, the current world record holder, versus Jonathan. Right now they're kind of matching each other for lap time. But Jonathan really needs a mistake from the world champion to have any sort of chance. He's made a mistake through there, almost loses the back end. How has he held on to that? I don't know. Through turn 5. Juna is in complete control. The gap's opened up to 2.3 seconds now. So chaotic first couple of laps, and Jonathan's in the wall at the last corner. He keeps it together though. That last corner is proving so tricky for these guys. So, just heard from Fergie as well. That was not a monstrous start. It was actually a jump start. So that was why she got an amazing start.
And I'm guessing she would have got a penalty anyway, so...
yeah, 30 seconds. So it would have been over anyway.
So I think she left to avoid trouble.
Yep, but Juna Pankin, a little bit of a scary moment. Because for a second, through that carnage, I thought he wasn't going to make the final. But he is currently in the lead of the consolation. Comfortably out in front. and looking in control to take this consolation final win and go straight through to the final. And by the sounds of it, I was just on board with Jonathan. He has got a punched all the way down to the back. Una Pankinen wins the consolation and goes straight through to the grand final. Jonathan Schaefer, you can see there, stopped out on track with a puncture. A little bit unfortunate for him, but
He's
Una
stuck.
Pankinen, yeah, he's stuck. He can't get up the hill. That's a new one. I've never seen that before.
You can't even. Has he got a reset button?
I'm not sure, but Jonathan is stuck. And we eventually retire. So actually, he was disqualified. So there you go for stopping too long. But Una's got the job done. Oh, this is
Easily
gonna be
there. Easily.
Yeah, very easily. No trouble whatsoever, apart from the first couple of laps carnage. But wow,
We're in for a
the
final.
is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so good. So 2 Peugeots, 2 Subarus, and an Audi.
Variety of
Subarus
cars.
I know the Subarus are getting huge support in the chat, so we'll see if they can get the job done. But those Peugeots are looking quick, and
I think one of the
Una,
Peugeots will do it, I think.
I think so, because it's dry conditions. But the Subaru's looking really quick. Remember, Jared won Heat 1 in the dry in the Subaru, so it could be that takes it. But again, Serene Logic looking really, really good in that Peugeot. Una as well, looking really quick. Not a car he drives often, but he's in it. Blotcha is in a different car to what he normally drives in, the Audi. And Jogan as well, slotting into that final as well in that other Subaru. Settle in, do not go anywhere, because we've got one hell of a final coming up.
We are buzzing for this. I hope you are too. Let us know in the comments who you think's going to win the all-important final. And this one you got to win. If you win, then that will be a huge boost.
Yeah, it'll be. It's not for championship points. It's not for a championship or anything. But in that regard, it almost makes it more competitive, because this is the last RX event of 2019.
Oh, we had good memories from Dirt 4, of course, and obviously Dirt Rally as well. So this hopefully will leave a good mark for the races to come next season and next year of AOR, which you can sign up to. And there's also the Classic Rally that we've got sign-ups open for as well, which just opened, I think, this week. So if you are not a Rallycross fan, want to get some Classic Rally interaction, then you can sign up.
Yeah, we're using it's the Tarmac series this time, the Classic Tarmac series. So we're going to be using the Alpine, the Ford Escort Mark II, the Fiat 131, and there's one other as well that I can't think of, but plenty of Ford Escorts. Everyone loves the Ford Escort in Tarmac trim.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant car. But it's the Tarmac series, so we're going to be using Spain, Germany, and Monte Carlo in rear-wheel drive classic cars, which is going to be great fun. And keep an eye out for sign-ups for season 2 of Rallycross.
All 3 platforms.
Hopefully, if we get the sign-up numbers.
PC definitely.
PC is going to be definitely there. We know that. We're going to get a push to see if we can get a PS4 side going, maybe an Xbox side as well if we get the numbers on that side too. But yeah, it's going to be a great 2020 when we eventually get there. But we're going to round out 2019 of the Rallycross season in style, hopefully, and then we'll let these guys get on with the Dirt World Series, which is currently underway with the final qualifier, and the quarterfinals coming up very, very shortly, of which, as far as I can see, 1, 2. Well, Serene Logic, Yuna, and Jared have qualified for. Yogan hasn't yet, as far as I know.
No, he hasn't. Yogan hasn't.
Yeah, so 4 out of the 5 have qualified.
Yeah, Yuna Pankinen qualified for Rally as well, and Rallycross. So is Jared. Jared only recently qualified, I think, for Rally. I think. So
totally unexpectedly, he didn't even realise himself.
Did he not?
So no, he put in a run and realised it was and went, oh, well then. So he's in. Serene Logic is in an RX as well. But we'll come to the World Series at another time. Right now, we're going to round out
the finals.
Our year of Rallycross here in Cape Town, and hopefully we're going to get the same action that World RX brought us a couple of weeks ago. A dry circuit, sunset over Cape Town, and 5 cars facing towards turn 1, 2 of those being the Subaru, and this will be the last time you will see these cars out on track in AOR. So F's in the chat for the Subaru, but let's see if we can get itself a podium, or maybe that elusive win that it's always been craving. Dominated ARX, but it's never made it to World RX yet. It may yet arrive. 1 Soul Audi, 2 Peugeots belonging to Una Pankinen and Serene Logic. We're almost ready to go. And really, no one knows who is going to win this one. Una, Serene, Yogan, Jared, Izza, any one of them could do it.
I can't wait. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be in for a crazy ride.
The 2019 AOR RX season comes to an end in South Africa in Cape Town before we head into the next season in 2020. But here we go, the final at the Killarney Motorsport Park in Cape Town. Serene Logic on the inside with Jared right next to him. Table Mountain greets us in the background. Ready to race light on for the final, and away we go. Very short hold as we go towards turn 1. Jared gets the best start. Serene Logic on the inside as they run toward turn 1. Look for the Audi on the outside of Velocity. Contact made. Jared, as he got the job done through turn 1. Serene Logic up the inside as contact made. Yogan's up the inside as he spins. He gets spun around, and the 2 Subarus are into 1 and 2 as they run through here. Jared leads from Yogan, I think, is second place. No, it's Veloci Izzo who goes through the second. Yogan up the inside. Great move from the Swede. And the Subarus are 1 and 2 here in Cape Town, South Africa. Izzo comes backing him up the inside through turn 5. And Izzo gets the job done. But Jared leads in the Subaru.
Who would have thought it? In the final, Jared is definitely giving him one of his money. Don't forget, he has won the dry heat, the only dry heat so far, so... But it's not over yet. Izza and Yogan can still make a run for it. And so could Yona Pankinen and Serene Logic. They have taken the Joker, the only 2 to have taken the Joker. And they're still within 2 seconds within the top 3.
So it's Jared from Veloce Izza from Yogan who takes to the Joker now. He's trying to cover off from Juna, who's right there. He took the Joker as well. Serene Logic followed him. Now, what is this going to be? I think Juna's going to get him.
Only
as far as I can see. Yeah, he is.
Ooh.
Has Serene got him? Yes, he has. So the 2 Peugeots are ahead of Yogan's. He's dropped down to 5th place. So, in reality, Yuna is right in the box seat, actually, for this one.
Yeah, Yuna's probably taken the Joker lap at just the right time, I think.
Yeah, he has.
I think he might win this one. Jared's got to take the Joker lap now. Or the next lap.
He hasn't.
Oh, he's hit the wall.
Oh, he's hit the wall. Veloci Izza takes the lead. So the Audi of Veloci Izza takes the lead from Jared, who took the wall on the exit of turn 5, but is right in the Joker lap merge now. Izza, if he wants to cover this off, he needs to Joker on this lap to cover it off and slot on that gap ahead of Serene. We shall see. But Izza now has the clean air. Izza's just been going about his business, really, this whole event. Haven't really seen much of him. Jared has contact made between the 2 of them. Jared, is he going to take to the Joker?
Yep, I think he's been forced to make the Joker,
yeah,
I think.
he does. This is going to be tight on the merge. Let's see. Juna's gone ahead. He's going to come out in front of Serene. Yes, he does. So Jared slots in behind. But now comes the crucial one. Can Jared get the move done on Una Pankinen? He's looking. You can see him looking on the inside line. Veloci Izza has dropped behind. What's happened to Izza?
Yeah, what's happened to that? I don't know.
Una Pankinen leads ahead of Jared, ahead of Serene Logic. This is the battle on track right now. I'm not sure what happened to Izza, but he's dropped behind. Una Pankinen is in the lead of this race. Serene Logic looking on the inside. That Subaru is in second place. It wants that win badly. So here we go. On to the final lap with Una. He looks like he's got the gap comfortably ahead right now. Serene Logic in a comfortable third place as well. Jared is vying for that. Bear in mind, this is going to be his first podium if he holds on to this one as well. So, not a bad job.
It'll still be a Subaru podium anyway, so...
Possibly, yeah, the last outing for the Subaru. It's going well. He's got one more opportunity. It's going to be turn 5. He needs the exit here, does Jared. Has he got it? He's not far behind. He might stick it up the inside here if he can get the run. He goes wide. Can he get the run out? Not quite. Coming to the last corner then. It's been a long time since we said this. But coming through the final corner, Una Pankinen wins in AOR. Jared is second. And Serene Logic rounds out the podium in third place. We have a Subaru on the podium. Veloci pitches the car into donuts at the last corner. Brilliant stuff from Izza. Pity the event didn't go his way, but brilliant stuff. Great to see him. And of course, he's the 3-time world champion. Una Pankinen is your winner, ahead of Jared, who got the job done for the Subarus in P2, and Serene Logic in third place in the Peugeot. What a final.
What a final, I must say. The first time in a while where someone who was in the Constellation Finals went on to take the overall event win.
Yeah, and the first time we haven't had a Renault in the final. So, there you go. But Una Pankinen, he is your winner. Jared, your second place man. And Serene Logic third. But, yeah, Jared, I think he'll be... I know he wanted that win, but I think he's going to be happy with second place nonetheless.
Said Mickey is anyway.
Said Mickey, yeah, he was his spotter, race engineer, the whole lot. So he gave him the setup. So his setup worked very, very well in the drive, but the Subaru is on the podium for the very first time in AOR. And for the last time in AOR, unfortunately.
Aww.
So the Subarus, we say goodbye to them. And we, of course, that rounds out all the action for 2019 on AOR Rallycross until 2020, when we head to, we're now going to announce it, Event 3 in Liddon Hill. So whenever we get Liddon Hill, we're going to be heading there. But let's get some interviews going, shall we? Let's get our event winner in.
He probably wasn't expecting
What happened to you? Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, he can answer him later. Una.
Yep.
Your first win in a long time. How does that feel?
It feels quite amazing. I think this is actually my first final win in AOR at all, so it's very good. And also an event win, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So great to see you back on the top, of course. So that consolation final was a little bit chaotic. So can you? I guess there was a little bit of panic there, maybe, that you weren't actually going to make it.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but when we actually did the consolation final and there's no one behind me, it got super confusing because is this everything? There was no real competition there, or the crashed out and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for this event, of course, you took the Peugeot. You usually drive Renault in the championship. So how was it adapting to the new car?
It was actually very good to drive. I usually thought the Renault because it's fast pretty much everywhere, but the Peugeot is actually very good to drive, and it's good on some tracks that have long straights. It's pretty good on straights at least. So.
Yeah. So now that's the last championship race of 2019. So now we have the World Series coming up. How are you preparing for that? Are you nervous about it?
Not really nervous. I'm just excited for it. Can't wait to do the competitions and everything. It's super fun.
Are you going to defend your title? Do you think you're going to?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can go for it. Absolutely. I mean, the competition is not gonna be easy, but I'll do my best, and I hope I do well.
Great stuff. Well, thanks a million for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you in 2020. Best of luck in the World Series as well. So now we're going to grab.
Thank you.
We're going to grab Mr. Second Place.
If I didn't clip the barrier on that. Oh, hello.
You can answer him later, Jared.
We always like to jump people in. interrupting our conversations.
Yeah, we did that with Yuna as well. We just dragged him out of mid-conversation. But Jared, second place. I know you really wanted that win, but first
did,
podium in AOR, did it with the Subaru. You must be very happy.
Yeah, quite happy. Unfortunately, in the grand final there, I made that slight error where I like clipped the rear on the tires where Bakkery had his crash or whatever. And yeah, I ended up facing like half into the barrier, so lost out to Ezo on that part. Obviously cost time in general, but yeah, otherwise a good race.
Yeah, so of course the last outing of the Subaru, great to see it on the podium, of course. But now last event of 2019, we're now heading into the DiRT World Series. How are you fixed for that one? How are you feeling going into the World Series?
No idea, to be honest. I'm just feeling that if it's Spain or Poland for rally, I'm screwed. And in Rallycross in general, I have no idea because I just don't play it much. I have to learn the tracks still.
Fair enough. And next year, 2020, AOR RX Season 2, will you be taking part, or is getting up at this hour of the morning too tough?
It's actually not that bad, so yeah, I think I'll give it a crack next year, or whenever it starts.
Yes.
It is good fun. It's good practice too, so.
Yeah, good stuff. And I'm sure. How is Mickey feeling? Is he proud of you? Did he do his job right?
I mean, he wanted me to get a podium originally before the event started, so I got that done at least. But obviously I had a chance for the win in the end and I half bottled it. I mean, I made a slight error, but yeah, he's happy otherwise, I think.
Good stuff. So so thanks a million, Jared. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck in the World Series, and hopefully we'll see you in 2020.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
And now, lastly, Mr. Veloci, welcome.
Hello there.
Not the best event for you, but did you enjoy the event? Did you enjoy the event nonetheless?
I don't think I had a race which I didn't hit the chicane on the last corner. Every single time, it was near enough the last lap every single time, and for some reason my brain would just have a malfunction into the chicane. The final was a bit bittersweet. I started on the outside again, and starting on the outside, basically turn one is just impossible. Got damage and the car wouldn't turn right, so I was having to handbrake it through most of the corners. Then obviously I hit the chicane again. It was a disaster, but did you like the donuts at the end?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we caught them on stream. Yeah, very, very. Jonathan didn't last time, so we had to have something to do it.
My event is a complete success then. That's fine
Great
by
stuff. Me. So, of course, we had dry heats going into 2 heats and consolation that were wet, and then we had the dry. So how hard was it adapting from the different conditions so quickly?
Well, I'd like to think of myself as pretty adaptable to any conditions, but the car didn't respond well to setup changes. I think taking the Audi may have been a mistake. I tried a lot of setups before every single heat and it just didn't respond. So maybe the Peugeot or Renault, maybe even the Subaru would have been better than the Audi, sorry.
Yeah, and of course, so now we're heading into December very shortly. We're going to have the quarterfinals of the World Series. How are you feeling going into the World Series? Are you confident? How far do you think you can get?
Well, seeing as my experience level is below the rest, I'm going in there with a sort of mindset that anything after the quarterfinals is a bonus, but for sure I'll try my hardest and put in a lot of practice to make sure that setups are on point and everything. I think I've just got to take the attitude that I've got to be opportunistic. If somebody else makes a mistake, I've got to be there to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and 2020 RX Season 2, can we expect you back?
I think so. There are other plans in the making, but I think I'll be back for another season of Rallycross. Definitely.
Great stuff. Thanks a million, John. Hopefully we'll see you 2020. Best of luck in the World Series as well.
Thank you very much.
So, unfortunately, Jess, that's it for RX for 2019.
Yeah, that is it. That is the final event done. Una Pankinen wins the final event for 2019, and we'll be ready soon to kick off 2020 proceedings with a great Rallycross season where all the tracks and 2019 cars will be visited, so should be very exciting. And if anyone who's taking part in the Rallycross for Dirt Rally, best of luck. And it's still the last qualifiers as well. So if you still want to get involved, you've got one more week to do it. And, you know.
Yep, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
All right.
Tuesday. Tuesday is when it closes, and after that, it's the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals. So whoever makes it to the final at the Autosport Show, maybe I'll be there. I don't know,
We'll
but
see.
yeah, best of luck to everybody. Even if I don't make it in myself, I'll most certainly be watching to see how the dirt community puts on a great show. Because most of the guys who are in the quarterfinal at the moment actually just drove for us right there.
There you
So
go.
you've got a sneak peek.
That's why AOL's the best.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna have to round it out there for 2019. So thanks a million to everyone for joining us over the course of the season. We'll be back in 2020 with all the World RX tracks, all the 2019 cars apart from the Hyundai, and we hope you'll join us then. Keep an eye out for sign-ups, and make sure to join the AOR Discord as well, where you can join the Dirt chat and you can chat with all the guys. Very, very friendly group who will help you out in any way they can if you're getting used to the game as well. And so from all of us here in AOR, from myself, from Jess, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in 2020.
Bye.
Send it.